More and more millennials, like many of you and you watching, you're all choosing to work freelance to have freedom and flexibility. So the question is, how do we prepare you for this shift that's happening? Yes! What is up, people? Good to see you. Good to see you. Woo-hoo! We are here. It's happening. Thunderous applause. Man, you guys got the right energy in here today. I'm Mario Armstrong, and it's time for Never Settle. Obviously, you all are ready, right? Yes. All right. There's a thing that's happening right now, and it's the way we work. The way we work and the culture of work, it has changed forever, people. And that's because more people are working freelance than ever before. Check these stats, if you don't believe me. In 2018, 56.7 million Americans were freelancing. That is massive. That's a huge number. It represents 35% of the entire U.S. workforce. And that number is growing. It's huge. But why is it important? Because more and more millennials, like many of you and you watching, you're all choosing to work freelance to have freedom and flexibility. That's the promise. The promise is I want to be able to do things on my time, how I want to do them. So the question is, how do we prepare you for this shift that's happening? The first thing is I want you to start to change your mindset. The first thing, because real talk, you need to stop thinking of yourself as just a freelancer. You need to stop thinking of yourself as just a consultant, as just a work for hire. You are more than that. You are the business. That's what you are. You are the business. So you need to begin operating mentally like you are a business. Like that's your thing. This is what I'm about. That's how you're going to shift your mindset so that you can start to actually grow you as a business. That is a different way of thinking. So today, what I'm going to do is really break down how to shift this mindset and how to help you grow yourself as a business, which is going to create so many more opportunities for you. Now, the shift in perspective is going to give you this instant growth. And I can say that unequivocally because I've done it. It's my story as well. CEO Nicole and I have lived that freelance life and have been able to build something from it. The next time you are hired for a gig, the very next time, I don't want you to look at them as the employer. That's not what you're going to do. You're not looking at them as an employer. Instead, you're looking at them as your client. That is a very different distinction. They are your clients. You see, one approach, I'm a contractor, I'm a work for hire, that approach is really all about collecting a paycheck. And I get that because you're going from gig to gig, hustle, hustle, money, money, and you don't know how long it's going to last. And normally you're only as good as your last gig. So that's a paycheck mentality. The other approach, treating people like they are your clients, that approach is about building a larger vision for yourself. You are a business and you have a client. That sends a different signal to yourself. You need to let go of this gig-to-gig mentality. It's driving you crazy. You're hustling a lot more than you need to be. And by the way, I don't mean that you need to create a business and have a whole bunch of employees. Make sure you're listening to the words I'm actually saying. I need you to think and operate like a business. You don't have to hire a bunch of people in order for you to consider yourself to think and operate like a business. Thinking this way is definitely going to uncover opportunities for you and make it really better with the clients that you're working with. Now, in order to operate like a business, you have to create a structure. Many of you left your 9 to 5, you hit the door, flicked the switch, whatever you did, and you rolled out. Maybe not like with this bop, but maybe some of you did bop. I don't know. But you rolled out, nonetheless. And when you rolled out, you left that 9 to 5 behind. And what that 9 to 5 gave you, though, was structure. There were people you had to answer to, policies that were in place, all that stuff that was there. Now you have to create it. You're on your own. You're doing your own freelance thing. You have to create your own boundaries. Things like, how late are you willing to work? How much are you willing to sacrifice? You also got to think about the things that you aren't willing to give up. Maybe you want to walk the dog every day at 7 o'clock and that's your thing. Maybe you go to jujitsu or yoga, whatever it is. Maybe you just want to spend time, quality time with your family. Whatever those things are that you are not an option that's on the table, those are part of the things that you create boundaries around. So I asked my followers on Instagram, I was like, let's find out what some problems maybe they're facing as they're approaching and dealing with this whole freelance life. And let's check out what they had to say.
Sometimes I feel like an imposter, like I don't belong, like I don't know what I'm talking about. Can you help me with some of these limiting beliefs?
I know I need to get out there for networking. I could really use some of the current tips to network the smart way.
Sometimes I struggle between boundaries when it comes to personal time and business time.
Yes, I got a ton of tips on that stuff. This whole show is about this. The imposter syndrome, networking, boundaries, growing yourself. The most important boundary, though, that was that one that she just mentioned, is really your personal time versus work time. When you're working freelance, it really gets blurred. And you're just out there trying to hustle, and it gets really, really blurred. And if you don't have boundaries, that's when you just overextend yourself. Then you don't like the work you're doing, or you get upset at the client and all this stuff. And it may not even be the client's fault. Could just be that you haven't figured out how to put boundaries in place and to understand what that means. So setting boundaries is really all about helping you respect yourself, respect your physical and your mental health. The boundaries are the rules by which you're setting, saying, here's what I'm willing to accept, here's what I'm not willing to accept. And when you set these boundaries, when you actually do these rules, it's going to make your life so much clearer. You're going to know exactly when a client or a gig or an opportunity comes your way, you're going to know whether or not how to approach that project or whether that's one you should do or not. Now, one thing I want to really be clear about setting boundaries, because when you set boundaries, you're like, I'm setting these boundaries. I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to deal with that anymore. When you do that, sometimes we become non-flexible. And this doesn't mean setting boundaries does not mean not being flexible. It doesn't mean you limit how hard you work. That's not what I'm talking about. Boundaries are there to kind of keep you in a comfort zone or in a way to check your ambition so that in a low-key way, it's helping you stay ambitious but not ruin your mental health, ruin your physical health. It keeps your ambition in check. That's really what boundaries are for. Now, in fact, boundaries are very useful for people that are ambitious. Like, if you're not the ambitious type, then boundaries can end up making you a little soft. It could actually make you a little weak because you got to watch out for this slippery slope. Because when you start thinking like, oh, I have these boundaries, you might get more comfortable. And if you get comfortable, you get into these comfort zones. And no growth happens in comfort zones. Boundaries aren't there to stifle you. Boundaries are there to help you actually grow. Boundaries are going to help you get more of the clients that you really want to get and more of the business that you really want to get. And that's going to make you happier long term when you get clients that you really like. Now, another topic that I heard in there that they were talking about that's important to me is networking. In order to grow your opportunities and build relationships, you got to network. And this reminds me of the time when I was actually on a set doing a commercial. I was doing this commercial, and on this day I met Justin. I told him who my name was. I said, hey, I'm Mario. And he says, I know who you are, but you don't need to know me. I'm just a PA. I stopped dead in my tracks, and I looked at him, and I said, Justin, you are never just anything. And I just like held his shoulders. I was like, I was so serious. I was like, you're never just. And it was so important. We need to hear that because a lot of times we take these work titles and we allow that to define who we are. But that doesn't define us. Work ethic defines us. Integrity defines us. Benevolence defines us. How we treat other humans defines us. And every single role on every single gig, company, work, job is important. Every single role, including yours. So I told him, I said, you know what? Let me take you around set. I want to prove something to you. I took him around set, and I started asking the director, the lighting, the audio. I went to each department, and I was like, how important is a PA to your job? And they all had a really positive reason. Oh, the PA is my glue. Oh, if the PA doesn't operate right, then that puts this off schedule. Oh, when I don't have this from the PA, I can't operate at my greatness. It mattered. And now he's like, oh my gosh, I never knew I had so much purpose. I just wanted to be a director. No, no, no. You want to be the best PA you can be so that you can become the director. And this is why you need to really think and operate like a business. That's all I'm asking Justin and all of you to do. Think and operate and act differently. And the same is true for networking, which is a big deal, big deal, because this is how a lot of things happen. Word of mouth for freelancers is it. You have to immerse yourself in the passion. You have to know everything about it. You have to read up on it, study it, because you're an outsider. I've been there. I know this word. I'm good at this. There's a reason why I'm trying to share these things with you, because I want you to get more access. I don't want you to feel on the outside. I want you to know what it's like to be able to get in front of the people, make your pitch, talk to them, make a connection, and make it happen. What events do they go to? Where are they speaking at? What are they doing on social? What conferences are they at? Where can you get in front of them potentially? You see, most people only network when they're looking for work. By that time, it's usually like you're in desperation mode. Yo, you got something? You know I edit, right? You know I can make your social pop, right? It's for real. You approach it all wrong. And part of approaching is wrong is you're either aggressive or you're desperate or you got a bunch of small talk. How was your train ride into the conference? Oh, the one was on time today? What's the weather like? How was your flight in? All this small talk makes you forgettable when you meet people for the first time. Everyone does it. It happens, but it's a dead-end street that gets you nowhere. But it's common because we feel awkward. We're trying to meet new people. So I want to teach you how you can accelerate the introductory phase, how you can actually do better at networking. So I want you to stop the small talk and let me help you break this down. When you meet people, you are taught to have your pitch ready. Boom, I'm ready for my 30-second or my elevator pitch or whatever it is. But when you think about it, a pitch actually is kind of selfish, because a pitch is really just about you. It's about what you want to throw out at someone else. Okay, you shouldn't be pitching. That's not the goal when you go networking. You should be connecting. That's what you need to do. Don't pitch until you actually connect. Period. Don't do it. Don't pitch until you connect. So then everyone says, all right, Mario, well, help me connect. Well, in order to help you connect, one way to do that is by actually getting you to create your own 30-second short story. Very simple to do, very easy. The story should include only 3 things. What you are passionate about. Everybody can tell me what you're passionate about. You. Everybody can tell me what they're passionate about. Who does your work impact? Who does it actually benefit? And then the third thing is, give me an example of a positive outcome of something your passion did and who you did it for and how it impacted them. This avoids the small talk and gets you right into making a connection because it is a story. People love stories. Humans love stories. When we hear stories, we connect. We understand them. So here's how you do it. You're going to replace that boring and forgettable intro that you always do. Hi, my name is Mario. I edit. Hi, my name is Mario. I'm an entrepreneur. Hi, my name is Mario. I'm a legal assistant. What? I don't even know what that means. I'm not in law. I mean, I know what a legal assistant does. I don't know what that really means. Replace all that stuff with, hi, my name is Mario. I create content that inspires people to take action to better their lives. Recently, I did an episode on fear being fake, and it helped a viewer named Daniel put himself out there, and that helped him get his own website, which then helped him get new clients. A whole story that I'm super passionate about. Something I created got somebody new clients. I don't know what that dance is right there. I just did. No. But right in that short story, you learn so much. You learn a lot about me, not just the title. If you can tell me a short story about you without actually pitching you, there's a very good chance that I'm going to ask you more about you. You get it? It's a little riddle. Seriously, if you don't pitch yourself so hard and you tell me a story, I'm going to say, tell me more, if I'm really interested. Now, remember, it's not a sales pitch. It's meant to start a conversation, to make connections faster. So then you should do the same thing. In return, you'll say, what are your passions? Who do you impact? Give me an example of something you've done that you're proud about. You're going to hear some stuff. If you listen, you're going to hear some opportunities to make faster connections. You're going to find things in common. When people find things in common, boy, do things, introductory phase ramps up real quick. Finally, always, please have this one thing whenever you network. Please have your portfolio on your phone. It's got to be available. I don't care if you do social media for people. I don't care if you're an artist. I don't care if you sell custom shoes. I don't care what it is. Have pictures, have video, have testimonials, have your webpage, have everything on your phone ready. And by the way, don't tell me, hold on a second, Mario. I just need to connect to Wi-Fi, and then I can show you this because it's on. Nobody's got time. Have it ready on your camera roll on the phone. Show us. Prove your potential. Show me what you're working on. If you're telling me a great story, I might ask you more, and then that's when you go, let me show you. Boom, instant credibility. It takes the relationship a lot further. So the goal ultimately is to be prepared for the ask that you want to give, and prepared for the ask when someone asks you maybe to do something for them. That's what it boils down to. So you got to do the research. You got to identify the people. You got to understand your industry. You got to get in front of these things that really help you build your brand, and that's going to build your opportunities. Now, one other way to really increase your results, I love this tool. It's something I call the 3 asks. Now, the 3 asks, when you ask in threes, this is so good because the best part about this is that there is 0 risk in doing this. I mean 0, none. It's an easy way to increase the chances of you getting a yes for something that is important to you. So what I need you to do is identify the person you want to network with or get in front of. Could be a VIP person, could be the head of a company, could be someone you just want to do business with, another peer of yours. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write a letter or an email, or you're going to connect to them through social media. I don't care. You can IG, DM, whatever. The point is, I want you to get these 3 asks in front of them. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in a second. But the first thing is sometimes you don't even know their email. So there's a little tool that I use, very hard to spell or understand. It's called Voila Norbert. I'm pointing because I'm hoping it's going to show up somewhere right there. Voila Norbert. It's an email finder to help you get a legit email address for someone you're trying to get in front of. All you got to know is their name, first and last name, and the domain name of the website or the company they work for. And it'll do all the rest for you to try to find it for you. So now you got their email address. By the way, I've used this to get in front of all types of people like WeWork and so many others. So now you have to actually write your ask. So what you're trying to do is get their attention. Right off the bat, you want to establish a connection and present your credibility right in that first paragraph. You're going to start your letter explaining your connection, whether you have a passion for what they do, whether both of you grew up in the same town, maybe someone went to the same school, maybe someone knows someone. It doesn't matter. Just find a connection. They love dogs. Oh, you love dogs too. Perfect. Establish that connection in the first paragraph. Next, I want you to talk about your achievements and your accomplishments and your passions. Put that really succinctly. But give me a couple of wins, a couple of things that you've done that have been credible for you. And don't think they have to be grandiose wins. Any win is a win. Any credibility is credibility. And then it's time for you to deliver your 3 asks. Now, the first ask should be super, super simple. Requires no real lifting on their part. The second ask should push it a little bit more for that yes. It's going to be a little more thinking and a little bit more lifting. The third ask, this is where it all happens. This is your dream ask. The ultimate ask. If they say yes to this ask, you go nuts. You run around the city. You're just running. You're grabbing your phone. You're tweeting. You're Instagramming. You're DMing. You're calling, Ma, they hit me back. You're going nuts. Maybe not that hype, but you're still hype. So I want to show you an example of a 3-ask letter, a real letter that I helped my son Christopher write to someone that he looked up to and wanted to connect with for opportunities in the music industry, specifically film. Now, here are his 3 asks. His first one, could we set up a call for you to advise me on some ideas on how to connect with film composers? Pretty simple. It's just a phone call. Super easy. Second one, could you introduce me to any of the composers from your previous movies? Oh, he's doing research. He knows what previous movies I worked on. Tyler Bates is a film composer. Hey, he worked on that John Wick film you were in. Thomas Wander, he worked on that White House Down movie. David Buckley, he worked on Angel Has Fallen. Can you, maybe any of those movies that you were on, do you happen to know anyone in the music department that I could connect to? Like, that's what that's asking. And then the third one, the dream ask, would be to try and shadow a film composer that's in the middle of scoring a film so I could learn by observing for a day. Like, this is going hard. This is all out. And then he doesn't end. He puts in the example, just in case you didn't get what he was asking for his dream ask. The composer that is scoring Godzilla versus Kong. Now, I asked him, I said, why are you asking about Godzilla versus Kong? And he said, oh, because the guy's playing in it. Ah, the actor you're trying to is in. And oh, by the way, the actor he was approaching was also into music. So he found a common connection in that first paragraph. He started talking about music and the similar music connection. Then he talked about stuff that he did and he had accomplished in that second paragraph. And then he hits him with the 3 questions. The 3 asks work, people. It increases your odds. It lets people know you've done your homework, and it gives you a better chance of getting a yes. Now, let's jump forward a little bit, because now we got you to the part where you've changed your mindset from a freelancer to being a business, and you've actually built some stuff, and you got a client base. You got things going on. You're feeling good. I got clients. Things are happening. I'm good. I'm putting stuff on stories about what I'm getting done. I'm looking good. I'm not flexing, but I'm looking good. Now what I want you to do is something that so many people forget, and that is to take care of your existing clients. You know, we get so focused on acquiring new ones. It's all about like getting new clients that we actually forget taking care of the clients we already have. We already work so hard to get these clients, and yet we don't step up to the plate and show as much value as possible to the client that's already paying us money. There's this big misconception that in order to grow, you got to get more clients. Get a client here, get a client there, get a client here. If you see me in the street, do like this, and I'll be like, oh, you're trying to get clients. Yeah. But if you listen, that's chasing money, right? That's chasing new money, and that is certainly a way for you to get clients, but it's a lot more effort. And sometimes it runs the risk of you not even paying attention to the one that's already paying you because you're trying to get new ones. Instead, focus on your current clients and think about how you can grow by upgrading your existing clients. I would argue that this type of growth is so much stronger. It's deeper, it's longer term, you're gonna have better relationships, better business. When you actually think about the value you can bring to someone else that's already paying you money to be in something, isn't it gonna be easier for them to say, oh, I didn't know you could do that too. Oh, I didn't know you had a talent for that. Oh, I didn't know that was a dream of yours. Why did you tell me that a while ago? When you are already being paid by someone, they have already put trust in you. It is easier to grow your existing clients. And there's no reason to think that they wouldn't buy again. And they may even buy at a higher rate. A higher rate. That means I don't have to have as many clients because I'm bringing value to my current ones. I might be able to charge a little bit more. Now I might get time back in my life. Now I can walk that dog at 7 o'clock, or I can hang out with my family, or I can go fencing. I don't know why I said that, but I said that. As a freelancer, though, you are responsible for pursuing, sustaining, and growing your dream for yourself. Each one of you is gifted. You all have incredible talents. You got to put yourself out there. My job today was to give you some tools to help you grow and to break through. Remember, it's not who you are, it's what you tell yourself you aren't. Never settle. So we're building this community together, right, on this YouTube page. So I need to hear from you. I really want to get intimate. If you like what's going on, tell me what you like. If there are topics that you want me to talk about or touch on, tell me what those are. If you don't like what I'm talking about, tell me why. This is not just about me talking to you, it's about us having a conversation with us. So if this has been doing anything for you, like it, subscribe to it, it definitely matters. Hit the little bell icon for the notifications too, so you can get hit up for that, and then share it out. But even like I said, if you're not into what's being said, tell me why not, so that I can adjust to make it more pleasant and more valuable for you.